Europe, and especially the Eurozone, is getting much better now. A few years ago, we could have been a part of the problem of the world economy. Today, we're now clearly a part of the solution. We have a growth rate of 2% and maybe slightly above. Our growth is now self-sustained as well by consumption, but also by investment, although we need to enhance that or reinforce that. We have a growth which now creates a lot of jobs in the EU, and our unemployment rate is diminishing. So I think that this is rather solid. If I add to that we have reduced our deficit, that we are controlling our debts, that we have solved, or almost solved, there is still an effort to be made, the Greek crisis, and that all our member states have had quite important structural reforms. So to those who doubt of Europe, I will tell them that the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And now EU is as well one of the biggest, largest economies in the world. We represent something like 24% of the GDP of the world with only 7% of its population. But it's also a growing economy again, a solid economy again. That's why it's also high time that we seize this momentum to reinforce our Eurozone and to be even stronger politically. And I think that politically there is also a window of opportunity due to the fact that the populists have been defeated in some elections, important, in Netherlands, in France, in Austria, and that there is a wind of optimism in the public opinion and of will among the European leadership. The Eurozone suffers from three weaknesses. First, we don't have enough efficiency. We can have a better potential growth. We can strengthen our investment capacity. Second, we suffer from a lack of solidarity. There are too many divergences between our economies inside the Eurozone, and that is not acceptable in the long run. And third, we suffer from a lack of democracy and governance. We don't have a sufficient control from the Eurozone executive, the Eurogroup, by a parliament to face things quite bluntly. And this is why it's high time to reform our Eurozone. How? For efficiency and for reducing divergences, the idea would be to create a budget for the Eurozone, which can be incorporated in the EU budget as a whole. This budget can be dedicated to fighting unemployment or, and there is no contradiction between both, boosting investment and reducing divergences. To have a better governance, we need to have a stronger executive branch. And in my view, this means a Minister of Finance for the Eurozone, who could be at the same time the Commissioner in charge of Economic and Finance, that's my job today, and the Chair of the Eurogroup. Why that? In order to have, first, a stronger grip on the executive, and second, a better accountability to a parliament. Which parliament? In my view, this should be the European Parliament, because it is the representative of the European people as a whole, and because those men and women who are inside that parliament are dedicated to European matters. If I add to that we also need to have a European treasury to lead this economic policy, and also to create a safe asset to manage future debt issuance for the Eurozone, we could complete the Eurozone. Jacques Delors, who was one of the very important presidents of this Commission, said when we launched the Euro protects, but the Euro does not stimulate. It is high time that our Eurozone is complete. And for that, we need to have at the same time the stability and protection that today Euro already provides, but also more dynamism and a stronger democratic accountability. If we do that, then I think that we will have created the tools for a stronger and fairer Eurozone, and a Eurozone which will be open to all. As President Juncker recalled, potentially the Euro is the currency of all the Europeans, and those who will want to join are welcome. This is an inclusive process. It has also to be a constructive process.